And Chuck Todd is NBC's political director. Chuck, good morning. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
Let's talk about the first 100 days. What has to happen for Barack Obama to get a passing grade from the American public?
That it does not become a 100 days. He needs longer, and he is trying to tell that to the American people, tell that to us in the media, that we don't judge him on 100 days. And I think he will have a successful 100 days if we are saying, well, it's more like 180 days, or it's more like the first year that he needs to be judged on, because things are going to get worse before they get better on the economy. Every expert has said that, whether they're on the left or the right. So not having the first 100 days as a benchmark is probably one of his chief goals.
What is the biggest pitfall that he faces then?
Well, it is the fact that there are high expectations, and there is the fact that we can be a short attention span society, and if we're not happy with the economy, if things are getting worse and the anxiety is gripping the nation to a point where they blame him, and they don't buy this idea that it's, you blame the previous administration anymore, that's going to be something that he's got to deal with.
He talks a lot, or he did during the campaign, about bipartisanship, but how much can he count on that?
I think he's been able to count on a lot of it early, particularly in the first 6 months. First of all, he's got the power of winning on his side. He won in some places that Democrats don't normally win, and you have Republican office holders in those places. I'm talking about North Carolina, where a Republican senator is up, and Indiana, and Missouri, and Iowa, places where these Republican senators, they saw how well Obama did in their states. So even if they don't want to work with him, their constituents are sending the message, you got to work with him. And I think that's where he starts. I think he's going to have, in the first 6 months, pretty good relationships with a lot of these moderate Republicans.
The economy obviously on the front burner, but there are so many foreign policy hotspots, as Andrea pointed out.
Right.
There's Iraq, there's Iran, there's Afghanistan, now you got India, Pakistan, Guantanamo. How does he even begin to prioritize those?
Well, it's difficult. I think the biggest challenge that I don't know how he gets out of is Afghanistan. He has pledged to send more troops, and
that's more of a quagmire really than Iraq even is.
Iraq ever was. And then he's got to figure out, how do you get him out? What is victory? And that's always been difficult. The good news is Iraq seems to be on a timetable that everything is going to be. He's going to be able to fulfill that promise to a point. 16 months, 20 months, whatever, give or take a few months. He is going to be able to get a lot of troops out of Iraq. It's Afghanistan, where he has pledged to send more troops. And then, how do you declare victory? How do you define it? And I think that's
and no one who's gone in there has ever been able to declare victory, too, so that's part of it.
The history of Afghanistan is war, and so it's hard to imagine that somehow Barack Obama is going to be the president that ends war.
And finally, his cabinet picks have been dubbed by some in the media the team of rivals. Do you expect that any of them will have trouble getting selected or approved?
Republicans don't want to roll over. Eric Holder is probably going to face the toughest questioning. A lot of people might think Hillary Clinton won't. I don't think there'll be any there'll be a little grandstanding, but he's got 58 Democratic senators. They're going to be able to confirm anybody he wants. One or two will cause headaches, because no president can expect not to have them.
No, he's going to have a few headaches. Chuck Todd, thank you so much.
All right.